Hello. Hi. And welcome back to Flowers. It's summertime. And the last time we were together, well, the good thing is, hey, we're best girl Erika Yaigaki this time around. The bad news is that she spent a good deal in the last episode getting dumpstered by two people in particular. She did not have a very good win-loss record for the day. So maybe things will turn out a little better for her as we dive back into things. So let's go ahead and do that. All right. Our class president asks if she has any questions, and Takasaki answers that there's nothing in particular. The president's courtesy doesn't waver as she continues showing Takasaki around, the latter walking along beside her quite expressionlessly. Yeah, I think if there's anybody that's going to be able to kind of bear the brunt of somebody like Takasaki right now, it's probably Rika, just kind of putting up her duties as, class president and just all right, we're just going to stonewall our way through this and hope for the best. If there's anybody that's going to be able to do that, no, man, just make her some tea. That's all you got to do. That's how these things work, right? Just win her over with some tea. A tour of the Academy's various facilities is straightforward. Information she'd do well to know, the shortest route to the clubhouse, back to the classrooms where the toilets are located, and so on. Takasaki doesn't say a single word in response to the president's enthusiastic explanations, but the president soldiers on, regardless of whether or not our stony-faced companion is even listening. What a trooper! Nah, I think she's just good at this. I don't think that it's a matter of being good with somebody like this or not. I think Rika is probably just, you know what? She's got this dialed in. Right. I had been asked by Sister Basquiat to show Takasaki, my new amitié partner, around the academy. Thinking that I wouldn't be able to bear being alone with her, I'd asked my bookworm buddy for help. For a moment, she looked bewildered by my request, then she'd agreed. Her cheeks flushed for some reason. Then the president had joined us as well. Thinking about it now, her offer had been worth its weight in gold. Yeah? Everybody, got a real good group of people here if you're looking for people to get along in a social manner. It's a good point. The president is taking responsibility for the entire campus tour. Well, I didn't particularly feel like doing it, and Shirahane isn't a great talker. Conveniently, because we didn't draw actual sprites for them to be walking around, and they're not going to have personalities that are important to the story at all. Surely Takasaki should have gone with them instead. I can tell where we're going from the direction she's headed. If Sister Basquiat's introduction were indeed true, then this might be the only spot that actually piques the interest of this awful, po-faced girl. After walking along for a while, bathed in the warm rays of the sun, the president comes to a stop in front of a door. When she steps into the room, a tiny sliver of admiration peeks through the no mask she wears. Having hit upon a rare moment of mutual understanding, the president eagerly attempts to engage her in conversation. However, Takasaki goes on ahead to inspect the room herself, caressing the bar as gently as one might a baby. Finally found something she likes. We did it, everybody. To be honest, I don't know what there is to be pleased about. Perhaps there are things that only an experienced ballet dancer would appreciate. I smile wryly. It's probably beyond me anyway. The president is about to answer, but then for some reason, despite my sitting by silently amid all the excitement, she stops herself and turns to me. Are you asking me? What are you asking me for? I'm about to refuse this well-intentioned meddling of hers when... Just answer the damn question. Takasaki's haughty voice reverberates around the room and I heave a deep sigh. It's me! It's me! I'm the teacher! After looking straight into those distasteful eyes of hers for a moment, I tell her that I'm the ballet instructor. She's trying to get Chidori on the back foot, and I don't know it's gonna work. At my spur-of-the-moment joke, Takasaki walks toward me without the slightest change in expression. What? She stares intently into my face. Her porcelain skin peeks out from her black uniform. A scent like fresh peaches drips across from her. She's wearing my favorite type of perfume. Or maybe it's her conditioner? Either way, it's annoying, and I'm hot for it. Oh, damn! Look at her go! Oh, man. Erica, I'm sorry. I think this girl's got you dialed in. Jesus! I've wanted to meet a liar and a piece of trash before. I'm surprised to hear the name Jimi Hendrix come up in our conversation, although I personally prefer Led Zeppelin. I'm into both. Like, I'm pretty okay with both. I think Led Zeppelin is a little played out at this point, though. Like, I don't really revisit their work all that much. The president gives us an out from our exchange. Having lost interest, I simply tell her that Sister Basquiat teaches the classes and Takasaki's usual expressionless mask returns. I give her a hint that I want to leave, but... Seems like the Prez didn't exactly catch my hint. The main places you'd need to know about would probably be the gazebo, the chapel, the allotments, and the greenhouse. Since it's unpaved around the front of the chapel, I'd prefer not to go there. Yeah, that would be a real big bummer. Perhaps my annoyance is showing because Shirahane looks a little restless. She claps her hands together excitedly. There's the sirens again. Are we gonna be arrested? I keep thinking, like, this is 2 sessions in a row now where sirens have gone blasting by my house. I keep thinking they're warning me because I'm playing gay content. Just as I had expected, when we go outside, we head first to the adjacent chapel, and then to the gazebo where my classmates hold their tea parties, before Shirahane pushes my wheelchair over to the greenhouse slightly further removed from the school. Our final stop is the allotments where we grow vegetables, and with that, the tour is finished. Or so I thought. My bookworm buddy suddenly pipes up. What do you think? Aren't they we got bunnies! We got little buns. Yo, sick, dude. We didn't know about bunnies. We didn't know about bunnies in the spring. Frankly, I'm not interested at all, so if all I can manage is a limp, yeah. On the way back from the allotments, Shirahane had tried to turn down a route that would take us back to the greenhouse, and I jokingly asked her if she was looking to sabotage the tour. She has a special place with bunnies. That's how she'd responded. I finally remembered what she said before we set out on our little tour of the grounds. Since she was the one pushing my wheelchair, I was wheeled along at her mercy until... Oh, look at this! Just look at this! Even she's broken at this point. Even she's broken character at this point. She's here for it. She loved it. Look at these little guys. They just want to give you a hug. Rika, honey, they don't really eat carrots. I mean, they can, but they're more likely to they'll eat the leafy part of the carrot. I hope that's what you're trying to feed the little guy. Aw, and she's got one on her lap. That's so adorable. You don't like bunnies, but no, you look at you. Got one on your lap. Yeah, that thing didn't crawl up there. You reached down and put that little bastard there. Shirahane is stroking the rabbit's head as though you might comfort a child. The rabbit narrows its eyes blissfully as she pets it, as though intoxicated by the sensation. So small creatures do have it in them to keep still. I gaze at the rabbits, who are munching innocently on what look like cabbage leaves. Rabbits are actually pretty big. And they don't want to eat the carrot. She calls out to them, but the rabbits don't so much as turn her away. Her shoulders slump, her braids appear to droop, quite pitifully. If the president has no affinity for animals, then Takasaki is the complete opposite. Even though she has no food or anything, the rabbits congregate around her feet in such numbers that she can't take a single step. She looks bewildered, but holds out the leaves I hand her towards the rabbits, who immediately scramble for them. I think I see a small smile cross Takasaki's lips. In that moment, Takasaki becomes slightly more human to me. Maybe because our first encounter had been so unreal, she had seemed like a character from a dream. The first time? Like at all? Really? You've never met a dog at a friend's house or something? The president seems shocked to hear this, but perhaps glad to be able to help to keep the conversation going. She gives up on trying to coax the rabbits. Good Rika doing her due diligence.
何か変なことを聞いてしまった？趣味は持ったことはないわ。私、無駄なことはしない主義なの。
Next, she's going to be telling me, I'm also a tool. Her words are clipped, and I can't help but react to the phrase, wastes of time. Man, the phrase is, I'm not living, I'm just killing time. And I think that's most of us 90% of the time. Oh, so you're a big fan of Marie Kondo, I bet. I counter those clipped words of hers with some of my own. She's trying. She's fighting back. Will Yaigaki finally gained ground on Takasaki? She's been stonewalled pretty hard here. As of late, she needs a win on the board. I mean, I guess there's merit to that. Perhaps that hit home because Takasaki narrows her pale green eyes and stares at me intently, as though to ascertain my true intentions. That haughty expression again. This girl really is... Don't tire out the bunnies. I don't know, this guy back here, he definitely looks like he's having the biggest chill of everybody. He ain't moved at all. Oh, Suo, why are you so cute? Stop it. I avert my gaze from Takasaki at the president's intercession and look over at my bookworm buddy who's waving at the rabbits. It's hard to put into words for a misanthrope like me, but the way she's waving at the rabbits reminds me of the old Shirahane, and I can't help but smile a little. Shirahane still seems reluctant to leave the rabbit pen. Well, that's kind of mean. Takasaki, who's walking ahead with the president, calls back to us, and I flash another cat-like smile at my bookworm buddy. Isn't my new immediate partner just the fucking best? My voice is dripping with sarcasm. Oh, so good. Loving the tension. There's a line in a Hemingway novel that goes like this. The world is a fine place and worth fighting for. The hair that reminds me of Kosaka, those jade eyes, that scent of peaches. I glare at my roommate. The first words out of her mouth when she enters the bedroom are derogatory. That's what I tell Takasaki. I'd hope to get everything out of the way by the end of the tour, but... It was no wonder that she'd turn up here straight after class. I let out a sigh as I watched Takasaki survey the room with that haughty expression of hers. Yes, because I seek intelligent conversation. Boom! Dumpster her, Erica. Do it! Hey, that's my shit. Stay away from my stuff. The perfect lady. Rather than hitting back with a rude response, Takasaki sets her luggage down on the unused desk and starts unpacking. She's making an attempt to conversate here. I can appreciate the effort. She gazes at the shelf, her eyes moving over the spines of the books.
わり者だわ。それはお互い様だな。なあ高崎、お前途中編入だけどさ。
Kind of shit did you get into to get sent to a boarding school in the middle of summer? She stops in the midst of her unpacking.
あなたも途中編入組だと聞いたけど。
Okay, it's fair play.
へえ、誰に聞いたのかね。おしゃべりな双子姉妹か。なら想像がつくでしょ。私と同じ理由だってこと。
She flashes me a crooked smile. You could read it two ways. Either she's sneering at me or smiling wryly at our shared circumstances.
まあいいさ。同じホテルカリフォルニアにチェックインしたんだから。
Timely reference once again for a teenager in the mid-2010s to be making.
仲良くと口が裂けても言えないが、お互い境界線だけは守っていこうぜ。
We're all about respecting boundaries, especially with this cat-like grin on our face.
チェックインするのはたやすくても、決して立ち去ることは。
At least she gets the very cool up-to-date reference that Erika was dropping. Well, what do you know? It seems like she knows a bit of American rock.
歌詞じゃ大敗的な滞在者に嫌気がさして飛び出そうって話だが、住めば都ってやつだ。それも互いにプライバシーを守るのが大前提だがね。
You want what? I hear her mutter something. Her brooding expression piques my curiosity, but
さっきからお互いの私生活に踏み込まないって聞いてるのかね。
she's an elusive one. There's a sudden knock at the door. I call out, inviting the person inside. I heard the goddamn knock and thought it was Damn it! I never fall for that! And like, I literally just did. I looked over and I was like, wait, is somebody at my door? These earphones are very good. And yet another elusive character enters. Hey! It's the good sister. Oh, swimmingly. We connected over an Eagles song. Can you believe it? That's progress. She elegantly covers her mouth with her hand to hide her smile. She must have gotten the wrong impression since Takasaki and I were facing one another as she came into the room. But I can't say a thing when faced with an embodiment of goodwill more formidable even than the president's. As usual, Sister Basquiat chooses to see only the best. Of course, I'm of the opposite opinion.
それで、バスキア教諭、何かご用があるのですか？あ、そうそう、そうなのよ。言い忘れたことがあって伺ったの。
She folds her arms in front of her chest with a smile, squashing her ample bosom. The sight of it gives me an odd feeling. I love it. Everybody discovering that odd tingling sensation they get when they realize, uh-oh, gay feelings are happening. Agree to, Takasaki repeats the phrase, and Sister Basquiat says it once more. Before I have a moment to protest... Oh my god! Oh my god! We have attained one Erika Yaigaki! And it's adorable. Look at this face. She is just done. She said, forget it. It's over. Life. This girl cannot win. This whole game is just gonna be Erika not winning, isn't it? Oh, poor girl. Well, I find myself being picked up as usual.
ベッドに移動するときや移動のときはこうして抱き上げて
Princess carry her across the threshold.
先生ほらダメよ暴れたら危ないわ
She rocks me tenderly in her arms as though soothing a child. Her full breasts are pressed up against my cheek, and I can feel my entire face flushing. She's done! Over and out, Connecticut. I'm enveloped in Sister Basquiat's sweet scent as she gently lays me down on the bed.
つまりは私が八重垣さんの介助を行うと
I mean, I think that, okay. I mean, I guess if you, like, you know, get saddled with the idea that you're going to be rooming with someone and also it's just kind of sprung on you that you kind of got to take care of them. I think that that's a natural reaction to be like, wait, what? Yeah, I mean, you know, I mean, I'm not saying you turn it down or you're a dick about it or anything, but I think it's definitely in the cards to be a little surprised by it at the very least.
そうほとんど八重垣さん一人で行えるけれど大変なところは協力してほしいの例えば食事をこの部屋に持ってきたりバスキア共有あとはお着替えとかかしらそうねそれじゃパジャマへ着替えるのを私が実演するわ
We're just gonna do all this now, huh?
あいや本当に勘弁してください
I think there's definitely like, you know, I can imagine being like really embarrassed about having to do, you know, not being, you know, a disabled person myself. I can understand Erica's apprehension here, like very understandable. Like I really, really sympathize. I look over at Takasaki, but I would hope she's not laughing. I don't think she's that awful of a person. She's just wearing her usual haughty look. I'd have given her a real piece of my mind if she was sneering, but
そうまあお着替えは実演しなくともわかるわよねそれじゃあ今度は車椅子に移動する時の介助を見ていてね
she moves my chair over to the side of the bed, then leans down toward me encouragingly. Knowing Sister Basquiat's personality, resistance is futile, so I go along with her in order to get it over with as quickly as possible.
こうして体重を任せてもらえば随分と楽になるのそれと万力で体を引き起こそうとしてはダメ直立した姿勢でなく腰を落としておくのなぜです力だけで移動させようとすると
Yeah, you're gonna fuck your back up if you try to lift her like that. You've gotta really be careful. You really gotta be careful moving people from like a bed to a wheelchair. That's actually, you can really jam your back up pretty bad. My mom did that once, helping someone, and she was down in the back for like 2 or 3 weeks after. It was pretty bad. With that, she picks up my limp body and moves me onto the wheelchair, waiting beside the bed. I let her go on with it. Oh, Dahlia is so good. Given the seriousness of their demeanors, I imagine that getting bashful now would be far more embarrassing.
わかったかしらはい
She pulls a notepad from her bag and nods as she jots down a few memos. Sister Basquiat puts her forefinger to her lips.
あとはそう
Oh dear.
風呂だけど
I take it back.
本当にそれだけは勘弁して
Oh, poor Erica. Oh. I thought that getting all bashful here would be embarrassing, but I am loath to have Takasaki see me naked. Honestly, I think I'd rather die. For some reason, Sister Basquiat blushes, a rare sight.
八重垣さんお風呂の介助は私がいいの
She addresses me. Like, I wouldn't want it to be anyone but you. Yeah, that makes sense. Because her skin is so white to start with, her blushing cheeks are blindingly obvious. It's incredibly hard to say as much when Sister Basquiat is acting this bashful, but... I have no choice but to respond like this. Oh. So defensive! Her joy changes instantly to disappointment. I can't think of the right words. That's what it is. I don't want Takasaki to do it, so I'd rather go with Sister Basquiat. There's nothing strange about that. Oh. I think Dahlia actually was kind of like really just she enjoyed doing it, like taking care of Erika like together, because I feel like it probably gave them time to like be together and bond, and they're probably like really good friends. So what I imagine is like, you know, if she had lost that last thing, like, you know, of helping her bathe, maybe like, you know, they wouldn't get to spend as much time together anymore. That's actually kind of sweet that even Dahlia is kind of like formed this little connection that she still wants to hold on to even a little bit. That's really cute. I remained silent while Sister Basquiat clasped her hands together in delight. It's been a real long day, sister. I often feel like curling up and eating a gallon of ice cream, so I've never related more to a character than I do in this one moment. My sarcasm flew right over her head. With an angelic smile, Sister Basquiat puts her hands on the handles of my wheelchair. I'm embarrassed. It's been a long time since I felt shame of this kind. It's different to being embarrassed by someone or turning red because someone picked up on a moment of ignorance. It's a purely sexual embarrassment. My eyes can't help but linger on her skin, so brilliantly white that you wouldn't think she was Japanese. Then, they're not particularly visible under her usual robes, but I can't take my eyes off the two obvious protrusions under her bath towel. Good Lord, she's stacked! None mommy is stacked to the heavens. The Lord gave her so many blessings. No wonder she's so devoted. Although in general, Sister Basquiat tends to remind me of my sister, this is one area where she doesn't. All the women in my family are slender and flat-chested. Aww. Her full breasts jiggle as she washes my legs, and I hurriedly avert my gaze. I'm used to this. At home, my two sisters had helped me bathe, and after entering the academy, the task had fallen to Sister Basquiat. At first, I'd felt embarrassed, but since it's an act of care, and then the shame had disappeared after the first 2 or 3 baths. Because of Chidori Takasaki, I've become self-conscious again. I let out a little sigh, hoping to dispel some of my ardor. Girls gotta smell good. Come on, Erika. Even you know this. You can't just slap some water on that and call it a day. God, I've met some people, though, where I swear to God, that's all they do is they just step in a shower for 13 seconds, slap some water on, and hey, that's good enough. Each year, Each year group has a set time period in which to use the baths. Because of my disability, though, I bathe before everyone else. We don't exactly have to rush, but we can't take our time either.
世話をかけてすいません。
Oh.
あらあら、今日は随分と素直なのに。
She smiles brightly. Her golden hair, usually covered by her habit, flutters about, and I find myself captivated by, "You got a thing! Holy crap, girl!"
素直ついでに聞いてもいいですか？
なに？
どうして高崎と網手にしたんですか？
I turn my gaze from Sister Basquiat's hair to her gentle golden eyes. I stare straight into mine, and I can clearly read what's written in them.
いや、頼ることを学ぶため。
Mm-hmm. Sounds like something you probably need to learn to do. A smile spreads across her lips at my words.
それもだけれど、高崎さんと気が合うと思ったの。
正直合わないと思います。
そうかしら。二人ともとても似ているわ。
I want to shout out my objection, but the look on her face stops me. Her expression tells me that she really does believe what she's saying. I sigh. It feels like that's all I've been doing today.
可愛いわ、八重垣さん。私がどうか。
Oh, that's so adorable. I'd want to be yours. She may simply have said that on a whim, but Sister Basquiat's words buoy me a little.
私もバスキア教諭だったらよかったと思いました。
As I tell her this, a crimson flush spreads immediately from my neck to my cheeks.
本当に？
え
そう。本当に嬉しいわ。
Oh. Suddenly, finding myself enveloped in her arms, I let out an uncharacteristic squawk. Her cheeks flush even darker than her huge bosom. Incomparably larger than mine. Oh god, her titties squash against my washboard chest.
先生。
八重垣さんは本当に人を喜ばせるのが。
Oh. It's so cute. When she says it, she's not being sarcastic.
大丈夫よ。
何が？
私を思いやっていてくれたのでしょ。八重垣さんは人へ優しさを与えられる人ですもの。
Y'all, Erica cares. I don't know if you could tell, but even with her little interactions with Suo, just at the start of this game, you could tell. Like there's like she really wants to reach out, it feels like.
だからきっとうまくいくわ。
そうです。
I keep my true feelings to myself. I don't feel like I can simply throw away such genuine affection. I think her hopes are misplaced. Takasaki is sat in front of me, silently eating breakfast. Yesterday, she'd received instructions on how to assist me from Sister Basquiat, but to be honest, despite her nodding dutifully in front of the teacher, I thought she'd ignore her obligations when it came down to it. However, the first thing in the morning, she'd gotten me up and offered to help me dress like it was the most natural thing in the world. When I turned her down, she waited patiently for me to get ready, and then she'd helped me from my bed into my wheelchair, just as Sister Basquiat had demonstrated the previous day.
食事を持ってくるから待っていなさい。
With that, she leaves, her usual haughty look on her face. Then,
やっぱり
yo, we eatin'! Look at us go! What do we got here? You got some scrambled eggs, some bacon, and toast, it looks like, and you got, like, the Caesar salad, I guess? Is that corn in there? So that wouldn't make it a Caesar salad. I'm not good at identifying salads. It's one of my major weaknesses. So it's bread for breakfast, is it? We've ended up eating breakfast together, just the two of us. Since breakfast is basically a buffet, everything we're having was chosen by Takasaki. Hello there, phone. Turning off those notifications now. toast with lashings of honey and fluffy scrambled eggs, seaweed salad, and crispy bacon. It's a pretty tantalizing array of food. I'm pleased to see that there's more than Sister Basquiat usually brings for me.
お前朝はパン派それともご飯派その顔はシリアル派かまあどちらかというと外人顔だしな
I'm kind of a cereal type. Like, I'm usually mostly a not breakfast person. But recently, like, I had some really, really good turkey sausage that was just kind of out of this world. But it was at a place out of town that I had stopped by in the morning on the way to a business trip, and was like, well, this is good, but I'm not gonna drive an hour for it.
黙って食べられないの
Damn!
冗談だよ朝からサラダしか食ってないやつをからかったんだ
Her portion is so small, I wonder how it could possibly be enough to fill her up. Oh no, starting to get worried about our girl. I hope it's not. I hope we don't go. I hope she's not going down the road I think she's going down. There's a colorful arrangement on her plate, but it mostly consists of lettuce and tomatoes, and I'm skeptical about whether it'll sustain her until lunchtime.
もしかしてお前
Asking her this, I pop a pill in my mouth and swallow it down with some cold water. It's the one that I take before meals. You take antacids like me? Do you have GERD? GERD is not fun. I do not like living with GERD. Sometimes you think you're having a heart attack on GERD. That's how bad GERD can be. Do not get GERD. I wish that was something you could actively avoid. Then I stuff the slightly singed bacon I've been looking forward to in my mouth. It tastes like bliss. Bacon typically does. Takasaki is practically glaring at me as I chow down on the meat, which is cut to just the right thickness for me.
違うわでもサラダ以外は食べないよう
I'm
に
just trying to not eat anything but salad. She just has to have the big salad. Even if she's not a vegetarian, I guess she has to maintain her figure as a celebrity. I don't think I could ever live the celebrity life. Eating is one of my few pleasures. It really would be tough to part with. I feel this all the more sincerely as I bite into my honey toast. Silence falls over the dining table for a while. While Takasaki is eating her boring salad, I turn my attention to my as of yet untouched scrambled eggs. They're cooked to perfection with fresh cream mixed into the beaten egg. I take a big forkful and eat it up without any awful condiments like tomato ketchup to still. Yeah, you know what? When I see people put ketchup on good ass scrambled eggs, I get so absolutely furious about it. It's one of those things that makes me really unreasonably butt mad, and I don't know why. Oh my god, why are you ruining it? Like a good scrambled egg is divine. It hardly needs anything, like a pinch of salt maybe. Don't go putting fucking ketchup on eggs. People are like, oh no, pineapple on pizza. Dog, I'm telling you, no, it's ketchup on eggs. That's how you know you're dealing with a monster. The fresh cream adds a hint of sweetness and the butter a moderate tang of salt. I eat around the circuit of the bread, bacon, scrambled egg, and salad before long my plate is empty. I'm only 80% full, that's just right for breakfast.
下げるわ
Because I'd taken my time, Takasaki finished eating before me. She now leans forward and stacks her plate on top of mine. As she leans in, I catch a scent of peaches. I almost get the sense that this room itself is starting to soak it up.
戻ってくるまでに用意をしておいてはあカバンに教科書を詰めるのよこれから授業で
Yeah, you're going to school now, girl! You can't get out of it now. A perfectly ordinary classroom scene. That's how the majority of the students here at the academy would no doubt respond if you were to ask them what was going on right now as they sit down at their desks for first period. However,
私にとっては日常じゃない
I gaze out of the classroom window only to be blinded by the summer sunlight shining down on me. The clouds are scudding by quickly. I think we may be in for a shower. Takasaki must have assumed that I usually attend class. Although I had suggested self-study in my room, she seemed to take it as a joke and dragged me along to the classroom without taking no for an answer. My classmates are surprised to see me there for the second day running. I thought perhaps she'd pick up on it from their reactions, but it doesn't seem like Takasaki is on the ball. She takes me over to my desk, then sits down in her seat and starts preparing for the lesson. Tearing my eyes away from the clowns, I pretend to be buried in my textbook and watch as Takasaki reads out a sentence in English. She's knocking it out of the park here. She reads the passage very, very falteringly. Apparently, John is sitting out on a journey. Seems like she's not very good at English. Well, celebrities probably don't have much time for studying. My theory isn't overturned. Not in second period math, nor in third period physics. It seems like her grades are on the lower end of average. Average at best. However, there we go. Now she's in her element. After completing some basic bar exercises, they move on to the floor to practice. Yeah, she's going to be like the star here. Like everybody else is going to look like gigantic idiots flailing around the floor. Like is even Sister Basquiat going to compete? Like we know Rika is good at ballet too, so. Takasaki begins her center work. She moves from port de bras, or arm movement exercises, to betterment tendu exercises that work the legs. Then, after practicing her changements, she starts practicing her pirouettes and spins that first come to mind when you hear the word ballet, if you're a layman like me. She turns on the spot, her posture never faltering, as though held up by a string suspended from the ceiling. From beside me, the president, who's been enthusiastically running me through each move, breathes a sigh of admiration. My eldest sister happened to do ballet, and I somehow remember a bit of the lingo. Despite my protests, she dragged me out to watch her practice, saying it would do me good to get out of the house. She even made me go along to her recitals. Although I don't really have an eye for this kind of thing. I point to Takasaki and address the president, who's been explaining things to me as though I'm a complete idiot. I don't think that's a tutu, actually. Yeah, that's not a tutu. It's, yeah, like that's, a tutu is like a whole different thing. I'd meant to force a change of subject, but the truth is, I'm so captivated by Takasaki that I can't look straight at her without prattling on like this. Right now, her eyes, usually so cold, seem filled with an earnest light. It had been a throwaway comment without any deeper meaning, but the president's shoulders slump in an exaggerated display of gloom. Since recently, I've been talking with Takasaki, who responds to my self-deprecation with biting retorts. I'd run my mouth without thinking.
シェネは速い動きが綺麗なのよ。だから八重垣さんの感想で正解。
She smiles at me, and I'm a little relieved. It's a pain to have someone worrying all the time.
そろそろ締めかね。あれはグランワルツ。最後にリベランスで終了ね。
She performs the grand valse, combining grand GT leaps and pirouettes before coming to land perfectly on the floor. I know I'm bad at pronouncing things, so I'm playing it up, okay? Just roll with me here. Then,
ああ、あれは見たことがある。演技の最後でお辞儀することがリベランスっていうのか。お辞儀、敬意を表す言葉だそうよ。
in my guise as a total novice, I nod admiringly at her knowledge. Takasaki gracefully extends her arms as she bows while our classmates watch on enviously. Although she's known to be an eccentric, it doesn't look like there's anything too outside the box when it comes to her dancing, which is simply beautiful. It really is completely captivating. She looks at me with that haughty glare of hers again.
次は何を踊るんだい？
Right now, I don't even mind it. Only this time, though, only when she's performing. At the sound of a noisy banging, I put down the book I'm reading and make my way toward the protesting door. Annoyed by the disturbance, I unlock the door and open it. On the other side is...
遅い。
Okay. My amitié partner, behaving like her usual strange self. Her hands are full, so she must have been banging on the door with her foot.
ちゃんと注文通りの品を持ってきたみたいだな。感心感心。
Ignoring my banter, she slips briskly past me with the tray of lunch things in her hands. The scent of peaches tickles my nose, and I'm annoyed at myself for thinking what a nice fragrance it is. Takasaki graciously lays out the food on the table, then...
早く食べて。
That's all she says. Despite the summer heat, her voice is cold.
お前な。
I'm about to voice my complaints, but my stomach silences me the moment the smell of the food reaches my nose. I'm irritated, but more than that right now, I'm hungry. My complaints can wait until after I've eaten.
それじゃいただきますかね。
I move my wheelchair into position and pick up my knife and fork. Now, what do we got this time? Looks like we got some bread. I'm a big fan of bread. Got a little bit of a salad going on. Is that like fish or some sort? Oh, it's a beef cutlet. My favorite.
おっと、忘れるところだった。
I take my pre-meal pill, then pick up my knife and fork. What kind of pill do you have to take before every meal? Is that a thing? That's something I'm just like overlooking. Because the only thing that I take is like an antacid in the morning, but maybe if you're just taking, like my stuff is prescribed though, so since it may be like extra strength, like much stronger than what you get over the counter, so maybe you take those with every meal. Or maybe she's on some girly medications. I do know of a couple of girly medications that are recommended to be taken with a meal, so maybe that's what's going on here. I slice through the crisp batter, cutting the meat into equal pieces so that it's easier to eat. I squeeze the accompanying lemon over one half and leave the other as it is.
イタリア料理はどうも好みじゃないが、こいつだけは別なんだよな。
First, I toss a bite of the plain half of the cutlet into my mouth. I can taste the olive oil and butter and the tang of the salt and pepper seasoning. The soft meat melts on my tongue, joining the whole thing together in a harmonious dance of flavors. Brings me great happiness. Man, the way visual novels describe eating food, I never think about the way that food is hitting the palate while I'm eating it, the way that visual novel authors do when writing about it. But it's also making me really hungry, so I'll probably be eating after I finish up here. After reveling in the blissful feeling for a while, I take the freshly baked breast I take the freshly baked bread and cut it into thirds before spreading it with sour cream, my own personal supply. When I sink my teeth into the bread, a rich, milky taste spreads through my mouth, along with a refreshing note of sourness. This is delicious too. Moving back and forth between the cutlet and bread, I address my amitié partner, who's sitting across from me.
お前はまたサラダなのかよ。
そうよ。
Takasaki-san is looking at her salad very seriously, like a mathematician faced with a particularly complex equation. So far as I've seen, she's only eaten salad in her time here.
ベジタリアンじゃないって言ってたけど、よっぽどサラダが好きなんだな。もしかして前世が虫とか？
黙って食べられないの？
Damn! Her eyes finally turned from her salad to me. I hadn't felt it during her ballet practice, but it's her usual haughty look.
今朝から同じメニューだろ？気にならない方が嘘だ。もしかしてそういう戒律とか？
キリスト教にはそんな戒律はないでしょ。これは必要だから食べているのよ。
You need to. She sure phrases things in an odd way.
必要だからね。ま、野菜を食わないと肌に悪いってのは聞くけど。でも、私たちくらいの年齢なら、こいつも食わなきゃな。
I spear a piece of cutlet with my fork and hold it out, offering her a bite. Aww! When I look over at those almond eyes of hers, she seems taken aback by my horseplay. But then...
いただくわ。
Oh! Her peachy lips gloss even when she's not wearing any lip gloss. Steal the food from my fork! A blush creeps over my cheeks at the realization that I've just fed her. I try to fight it back.
どうよ。
I'm still struggling to keep myself from turning red. After chewing methodically for a while, she gets up abruptly from her seat and goes over to her desk. She takes a pencil and a notepad from the bookshelf, then returns to the table. The soft sound of graphite rubbing against paper breaks the quiet of the table, and her pencil dances nimbly over the notebook. I may not like her, but I'm still curious to know what she's doing.
おい、いきなり何を書き出しているんだ？もしかしてレシピとか割り出して書き留めているわけ？おい、
自分ノートよ。
は？
自分ノート。
She stops writing for a second to say only that before resuming again. Based on her demeanor, it's clear that she expects me to understand what she's doing just from those few words. No way!
それだけじゃ白羽だってわかるわけないっての。
I'm unbearably curious. You writing some kind of poem? About beef cutlet?
もしかしてポエムとか書いているわけ？
ポエム？
Takasaki doesn't stop writing. She shakes her head in answer to my question. Her shoulder-length hair flutters, wafting over that smell I like.
詩を書く趣味はないわ。読みたいのならクラスの双子の姉妹に頼んだらどう？
佐々木姉妹に？
名前は覚えていないけれど、机の上に可愛らしいカエルの置物を置いていたわ。そういうの好きそうな外見じゃない。
To be honest,
同じことを考えると。
I've spoken with the elder of the two before about how she looked like the kind of girl who enjoyed picture books. And that was mostly on account of her outward appearance.
あいつは可愛いもの好きだが、俗物的な意味での可愛いもの好きなんだ。夢見がちな系統じゃないよ。
そう。
She looks momentarily taken aback. I'm annoyed that I find it kind of cute. She puts her pencil down on the table, then holds the notebook out to me. I'm startled at the moment, as I hadn't thought that she was the type to share her private musings, but I take the notebook from her.
バレエ、英語の授業、子牛のカツレツってなんだこりゃ。
言ったでしょ。自分ノートよ。
だからそれがわからないって。もしかしてこれって好き嫌いを書いたノートなのかよ。
She snatches the notebook back out of my hands with a disparaging look as if to communicate the fact that she's been saying exactly that all along.
芸能活動で今までプライベートがなかったから好きか嫌いかなんて考える暇がなかったわ。
Well, it looks like coming here is like a good way to start working on that. So writing the things down that you're experiencing and liking and disliking that's pretty good.
だから自分が何が好きで何が嫌いなのかってことをノートに書き記しているの。
I stare intently into her face, which looks just the same as always.
変わっているな。
I heave a deep
そう
sigh.
かしら。
そうさ。私よりも変わり者だよ。お前は。
She closes the notebook and goes back to eating her salad.
で、そのサラダも好きってわけだ。ずっとそればかり食べてるもん。
It's definitely in the like column, I'm gonna say. She narrows her almond
好
eyes.
きなわけがないじゃない。スタイルを維持するために食べているだけよ。こんなものは虫が食べるもの
Oh,
だわ。
jeez. I was thinking earlier, please don't be an eating disorder.
何を呆れた顔をしているの？あなたが虫だって言ったんじゃない。
Oh, damn, she's kind of got you there.
そりゃ、そうだけどな。
She's picking at her salad with a deadly serious expression on her face. In fact, in light of what she just said, it looks to me like she's eating it quite unwillingly.
こいつ、なかなか面白いやつなのかも。
I realize that I'm smiling to myself as I eat my lemon-drenched cutlet. Having shown me an unexpected side to her over lunch, Takasaki forces me to class without any room for argument as soon as she's cleared up our lunch things. After 6 whole hours of class, I'm completely wiped out.
なんでこんな場所にいるんだ？
We're here to see bunnies. You're going to enjoy the bunnies because Chidori likes the bunnies. We're at the rabbit pen we'd visited before.
ほら、こっちよ、見て。
Her voice is excited. I wouldn't usually go along with this kind of thing, but since she sounds so happy...
足元がおぼつかないんだよ。ちょっと待ってくれ。
I call across to my bookworm buddy.
ごめんなさい。
She comes rushing over to me in a fluster. It seems like she's brought me here out of consideration for my fatigue after the unfamiliar experience of attending class, but...
個人的には図書室の方が良かったけどな。
I'm not about to say that to her face, though.
押すわね。ああ。
She takes hold of my chair's handles and wheels me over to the rabbit pen.
で、何が見てだって？ほら、黒いウサギのそば、藁の中を見て。
I strain my eyes, looking where she indicated, and... Oh, they got little bunny rabbit. They made new little bunny rabbit. I see something stirring in the hay.
もしかして赤ん坊が生まれたとか？そうなの。可愛いわよね。
Shirahane's eyes are narrowed in bliss as she gazes at the bunnies. To be honest,
小さいネズミの赤ちゃんかと思ったぜ。
they do kind of be looking like rats a bit, don't they? I do admire her purity of heart, her ability to see cuteness in these little brown creatures squirming around in the straw. In fact, I can't help but be strangely impressed by Shirahane's femininity in this regard. After watching the baby bunnies in silence for a while,
八重垣さん、
Shirahane-san suddenly addresses me.
なんだ？アミティエはやっぱりいいものでしょ？
Oh. I realize that while this is a genuine question about how I'm getting along with Takasaki, Shirahane is also alluding to her own amitié partner who disappeared in the spring.
さあね。まだ実感できるほど知り合っちゃいないよ。
I think we're starting to see some breaks here. Like, y'all talked about beef cutlet. You know you both like that. I think it's a good start. I've bonded with people over liking similar food.
そうよね。昨日の今日だものね。
She continues staring at the baby rabbits. Then, after a brief pause,
仲良くなれそう？
she questions me again. You would have been a better MTA partner. The first thing that comes to mind at her question. Aww. The notion that in asking me about my relationship with my MTA partner, Shirahane is alluding to Mayuri Kosaka, the girl who disappeared in the spring.
無理だな。性格的にとかじゃなく、生理的にってやつだ。
Not a chance.
仲良くはなれないだろうね。
Not gonna happen. This visual novel is gonna be over very soon. Facing up to her when she so reminds me of my past self is like dealing with a very particular kind of pain. Shirahane is watching me restlessly.
お前が見てならよかった。
That's my answer.
八重垣さん、趣味は合うし、余計なことは喋らないしな。
Her cheeks flush scarlet and she smiles.
ありがとう、八重垣さん。でも、お部屋が本だらけになってしまう。
That's a good point. I can't imagine there being room for much else if you were to put these two in the same room.
理想の空間だ。
We laugh together, and I feel more cheerful than I have in a long time. There isn't a trace of melancholy in Shirahane's smile either. Apologizing inwardly to the mother rabbit we'd startled with our laughter, I look up at the huge clouds trailing in overhead. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna call this one done and dusted right there. So we're making some progress. Erika's kind of showing a little bit of willingness to kind of make things work here, and Chidori is yeah, maybe she just hasn't been given a chance to show her emotional depth or a proper chance to acclimate to things, maybe. So she's just still kind of working things out. She's the new kid, you know. Hey, new kid, who was forced to read that in grade school. It's all right. So that's gonna do it for this time around. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I hope to see you next time. Hope you have a nice rest of your whatever, and we will catch you next time. Bye.